Today on Rappler, boxer Manny Pacquiao faces a class action lawsuit for failing to inform the public about his shoulder injury. Comelec Chairman Andres Bautista announces there will be 2 public biddings to resolve the PCOS machine crisis. And Singapore's Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong shares his Sudoku solver code via social media.
Hello and welcome. I'm Ai Makaraig. This is Rappler's Wrap for the Day, a list of the most important events around the world you shouldn't miss. Boxer Manny Pacquiao is facing a class action lawsuit from 2 Nevada men because he fraudulently concealed a shoulder injury before his defeat to Floyd Mayweather Jr. Pacquiao told the media after the fight that a torn rotator cuff injury he suffered during training camp hampered his performance during the bout. The plaintiffs Stefan Vanel and Cami Rabaran argue that by failing to inform the public about his injury, the Philippine lawmaker and his camp violated the Nevada Deceptive Trade Practices Act. The suit names Pacquiao, his advisor Michael Cons, and promotional company Top Rank Chairman Bob Arum, and President Todd DeBuff as defendants. It claims the defendants had full knowledge and information that Pacquiao had been seriously injured and was suffering from a torn rotator cuff, and that they know that such injury would severely affect his performance. But Cons shoulders the blame for failing to disclose Pacquiao's injury, explaining it was he, not the Filipino icon, who checked the box on the pre-fight medical questionnaire, saying Pacquiao had no pre-existing injury heading to his May 2 bout with Mayweather. Nevada Athletic Commission or NAC Executive Director Bob Bennett says, had Pacquiao's camp informed the commission about an injury in training, a win-win for both parties could have been negotiated. He says painkillers were not allowed before the fight because it could have numbed Pacquiao to his opponent's punches. Mayweather is also facing a $20 million lawsuit from the mother of 3 of his 4 children. The lawsuit stemmed from Mayweather's interview with Yahoo's Katie Couric before the super fight. His ex-girlfriend Josie Harris is claiming defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and negligent infliction of emotional distress after Mayweather denied the domestic violence charges that sent him to prison for 2 months. Instead, he claimed that Harris was on drugs and that he only restrained her. On the issue of a rematch with Pacquiao, Mayweather says he is open to one next year. In a text to ESPN analyst Stephen A. Smith, Mayweather says, quote, "I will fight him in a year after his surgery." The Backstreet Boys are also among those clamoring for a Mayweather-Pacquiao rematch, saying it should be held in Manila.
Backstreet Boys, we want a rematch. How are you, dude? Nigga, say what? The Thriller. Hey, Manila next time it needs to be here. All right, here. Yep. The Thriller from Manila. Thriller Manila, part 2, baby. That's right. Get it out of Vegas. Yep. All right. Anyways, yeah, we actually, we'll get into that later. But we're big Manny Pacquiao fans in this year.
Newly appointed Commission on Elections or Comelec Chairman Andres Bautista announces it will hold 2 public biddings to resolve an unprecedented crisis before the 2016 elections. One bidding is to refurbish and upgrade the existing 81,000 precinct count optical scan or PCOS machines. It includes supplementing these with more than 20,000 new ones. The other bidding is to buy about 100,000 new PCOS machines. Bautista says the Comelec is starting now with the bidding process and will likely choose one of the 2 tracks by July. On April 21st, the Supreme Court nullified a Comelec Smartmatic contract for the repair of PCOS machines because it didn't undergo public bidding, raising the possibility of reverting to manual elections in 2016. Mary Jane Veloso's alleged illegal recruiter Maria Cristina Serio is now under arrest. Serio was brought to the National Bureau of Investigation or NBI Tuesday evening, where she went through inquest proceedings. NBI Chief Virgilio Mendez says Serio was arrested after the parents of Veloso identified her as the recruiter. Serio is scheduled to undergo a preliminary investigation on May 8 and May 14. Veloso's sister Marites Veloso Laurente says her sister wants to thank, quote, President Aquino, President Widodo, the Philippine Embassy, the Department of Foreign Affairs, and everyone all over the world who prayed for Mary Jane. Marites clarifies her mother's controversial statements, saying, quote, she used the wrong term. What she meant was that we won't stop prodding and urging the government to continue helping Mary Jane. Her mother and father thank President Benigno Aquino too, but add they cannot forgive him yet. For now, the Velosos are focused on the case of Serio and her partner, Julius Lacanilao. Migrant workers' rights advocate Susan Ople urges the Philippine government to create a special body that looks into victims' assistance in cases of Filipinos on death row. There are 92 migrant Filipinos on death row and 3,800 jailed in other countries. The former lawyer of whistleblower Ben Hurluy gives the Department of Justice or the DOJ a 1-month ultimatum to file charges against the third batch of lawmakers implicated in the multi-billion peso corruption scam. Lawyer Levito Baligod says if the government won't, he will file the plunder complaints himself. Baligod says the Justice Department is running from its fight against corruption. This statement comes after Justice Secretary Laila de Lima said the signatures of lawmakers suspected of conniving with alleged mastermind Janet Napoles did not match the documents in their possession, delaying the filing of the cases. In a Philippine Daily Inquirer or PDI report, the Court of Tax Appeals lifts the warrant of arrest issued for Jean Napoles, the daughter of Napoles. Napoles' lawyer, attorney Stephen David, tells the court he advised the younger Napoles not to attend the hearing on April 29 since she still has a pending motion for reconsideration for the reversal of the dismissal of their judicial determination of probable cause. The PDI says Napoles personally appeared before the tax court. On April 29, the Court of Tax Appeals orders Napoles' arrest for failing to show up for her arraignment. Singapore's Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong shares on Facebook a Sudoku puzzle solver code he wrote. Lee describes the program as pretty basic, posts a link containing the full printout of the code, and invites readers to tell him if there were bugs. Lee says, quote, I used to enjoy this. It is a long time since I've done anything. The 63-year-old Lee is a first-class mathematics graduate from the University of Cambridge in Britain. The Facebook post on the code has been shared nearly 15,000 times and had more than 42,000 likes by Wednesday afternoon, along with many comments praising Lee. For those on desktop, click on the links on your screen. You can also click on the tabs below to go to a story in the video. And for those on smartphones and tablets, the links can be found below the video. Rappler has a patented user engagement model that puts a mood meter on every story. Looking at the Mood Navigator in the middle of the front page, the story that's gotten the most votes today is Commission corrects error on Mayweather versus Pacquiao scorecard. So this is a story that got the most votes for the second day in a row. It has 72% of readers feeling angry, 7% are annoyed. Today, most people are angry. That's a wrap for today, Wednesday, May 6, 2015. Visit Rappler.com for the latest news here and around the world. Check out our other shows, SciTech for You and Rappler Talk. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Ayi Makaraig. As we say at Rappler, tomorrow begins today.